Hello, and welcome to SGDC. I'm your happy-go-lucky host, James Epstein, and welcome to my island. My island is full of fun stuff to do. And someone to show their fun stuff to do is Remy!
Hello. I am Remy, CEO of Pantouf Games, a studio that doesn't exist yet. This week we updated Time Glitch. You see that miniature picture here? Now it changed and it says available on Steam Deck. And this is what the update is about. That game was released 1 year ago. Yesterday, I think? No. Yeah, I think the birthday was Wednesday. Yesterday. And for the occasion, we updated the game to make it playable on Steam Deck and to add some hints in-game. And I figured out the temporary pictures that Steam handles. This kind of stuff. I can show what the update looks like. Yeah, anniversary update. I'm not gonna go through all of it. You can read that. And here's the dice that Lene made for Time Glitch. That is also a nice picture that Lene sent me. And it's now on the update thing for Time Glitch. And I can show you a short video of how it looks like. This is a narrative game, if you don't know about it. It's very inspired by D&D, and the idea is that all these characters are fighting a boss, and they are making the decisions, but you are giving them the dice to roll for their actions. So this is how it looks now. It's all here. I'm just using a controller to move around instead of the mouse as it was before. I added some text for the tutorial to explain what you're supposed to do. Because you're stuck in a time loop, you can see as the more you play, the more you know about the dice, and you can see what are they gonna roll, and so you can make informed decisions on which dice to give to which. And then there's a lot of branching narrative. And the hint screen is this thing that it shows you hints on how to get all the timelines you missed or you haven't seen yet. I also added a small screen to confirm when you try to press the quit button, because I've been told that you can quit by mistake. That's it for Time Glitch. Please buy the game, it's cheap. And then leave a review if you like the game. If you don't like it, don't leave a review. Froglike, we update Froglike every 2 weeks. The last update was about adding a new feature in the credits where you have these frogs that you can click on and they will hop around. And sometimes, randomly, between runs, some frogs, some money will spawn in the credit screen, and you can use the frogs to grab that money, like this one. It's a very small thing that we added. That's it. Any questions? James?
Can we also buy and leave a positive review on this game?
Indeed. That's a feature of the Steam store. Yes.
Cool.
Please do it. Fran.
So would a roguelike main menu only run now be feasible?
What?
Can you play it only in the main menu?
Technically, yes, you can make a shit ton of money by just playing the credit screen. Yes, but you have to restart the game every time.
So I'd use your own category.
Yeah. Ryan.
If you were to commission a roguelike set of dice, what do you think that would look like?
Ooh.
I was asking you too, but
No, it's a good question. Are there 6 or 7 dice per set? because we have 7 playable frogs, so I feel like that would be like each dice would be a different color.
I could cast one of those little frogs into a dice.
Oh yeah, tiny one. Oh yes, yes please. Really good idea, Brian. Doing more work to learn. No more questions. All right, thank you very much.
Next up, Flannery.
Hello. Yeah, so I started a house Minecraft server this week and I got a bit distracted, but you don't need to see the video, it's fine, you'll get the idea. So yeah, I started a mod pack and been playing with some people in the house. So what do? I make Flans mod for Minecraft. It adds guns and hey! In theory, there are tanks and planes and vehicles and helicopters and all sorts of stuff, but that's not on the latest version yet. I have been doing a lot of work on the physics code, but sometimes you just need a break from writing your own physics engine. So yeah, I just wanted to say, yes, this is something I did last year. The current version of Flans mod it's the guns, the attachments, and basically everything you need to craft them. When I sort of reworked things into what I call Flans mod Reloaded, I wanted to do like a sort of more versatile part system. You can create parts out of different materials and then stick them together and you get different stats. This is very similar to a mod called Tinker's Construct. One would almost call it a Tinker-like in terms of the crafting system. Yeah, Tinker's Construct itself, it focuses around the smeltery where you you cast the parts out of different metals, and the more metals you have in your mod pack, the more things you find, the more different stats you get to add, and then you can mix and match to create your weapon. So yeah, as I said, oh yeah, I've been really wanting to play Tinkers for a long time. It's one of my favourite mods, and I was very surprised the other day when I realised that there was a sneaky January 1st update, and it's on the latest version. So I got really excited, started playing a mod pack with friends, and I actually don't have a picture of my smeltery, but I do have this picture of this train I made in the last 6 days, which when I look back at it and think about how much I've been playing in the last 6 days, it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, so there's a little video of me casting some stuff or whatever. Yeah, I basically got inspired and thought, let's see if I can do a content pack that fits with my mod, but it uses the Tinker's Construct smeltery, so you basically pour metals into these casts and you make the parts of your gun, and then it all looks a bit janky, it's a bit like first iteration, but I was excited to have something that worked so quickly. Yeah, so Tinker's Construct has quite a good API, so it's pretty easy to add new parts. Yeah, there's still some things like there's sort of these pink squares here that the icons aren't loading correctly because I have custom rendering for my guns, which I need to sort of turn off when it's rendering the icon. And this is just a random gun from Vendor's Game, just color swapped, so I'm going to do something a bit nicer, but yeah, the fact that I got something working so quickly is really cool, and let's do some more. Oh, it's focused on the video. So yeah, that's just yeah, I've played a lot of Minecraft, but I've also done a little bit of a new content pack. And I really do enjoy hosting Minecraft servers with friends, because I always get inspired and I'm like, I want to add something to my mod or do something new. So yeah, any questions? All right.
What are you planning next, and how can you enter the server if you're maybe a homie who likes Minecraft?
If you're a homie who likes Minecraft, or a ex-homie, future homie, past homie, it's in the Spelkollektivet Discord. You need the mod pack and then the IP address, and you just join. You do need to just send a message so I can whitelist you. We are not leaving an open server because that will get griefed. Yeah, what was the other question? Was there another question?
What's up next?
Oh, for me, for the mod?
Well, both, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm going to be working on Quarter 1996 again in about 2 weeks when Mariana's back. But yeah, for now, I really want to get the vehicles done, but there's a lot of work there. I was also potentially looking at doing some of the team deathmatch stuff. I got a bit excited. Again, it's something like we had a LAN in the house over Christmas, and I was sort of suddenly like really into, let's see if I can get the team deathmatch code working again. So it's honestly, that's sort of 75% of the way there. I just need to do the last 25%, which is always the hardest bit. But yeah, so I've got a few threads going with the mod, and I'm kind of taking it with just like do whatever seems fun at the moment. I don't want to get distracted by this for too long, so if I can get some good quick results, which seems like, given how good Tinkers is to work with, this could be a pretty easy like pack release, and that's just one extra pack out there for people to play with. So yeah, lots of different bits going on. Cool. Oh, Lena?
What are the focuses of the server? Like, what is it?
Oh, right. Well, as you can see from this map, for me, the focus is absolutely like building a rail network and connecting everyone's houses. Also, those squares are a thing called mine colonies, which is like you get to have a village full of villagers and like upgrade their buildings and like look after them. And yeah, so each of those squares is a town from a different player. So it's like really cool to have everyone like running their own little thing. So it's all quite cozy. It's quite like slow exploration, and yeah, there's a lot of create mod, which is one of the big like fun contraptions-y mod things. So yeah, everyone's just sort of doing their own thing. It seems quite good. Yeah, Brian.
Do you have your own town, or do you just live on the trains?
Maple Storywood here is mine. There was an abandoned town called Maplewood, and because I like Maple Story, I called it Maple Storywood. Yeah. Cool.
Next up, Cheyenne.
So this is my last SGDC for the next few months, coming back maybe May or June. So I'm going to show off what I've worked on so far. So I did the Halloween Game Jam with my team, Layla, Perman, Bartosz, and Alexander. And our game was Project Mog, which was more of a gag name because we're like, oh, are we going to make an MMO, like RPG game? So we were like, okay, let's just call it Multiplayer Online Game. So that's what MOG stands for, in case you guys were wondering. But it was a Fallout 1 inspired multiplayer deathmatch game. We actually took the opportunity to actually kind of do a similar setup as the original Fallout game. So we did the same thing. We had 3D models rendered as 2D sprites. We made an entire sprite sheet for the characters. We also used a similar perspective, like orthographic, but then we found out halfway through the game jam that it wasn't working. We're like, what's going on? Turns out the original Fallout team didn't use true orthographic perspective, so we had to make our own modified version, and that worked. And of course, the main part of the game we loved was the fun we had along the way. No joke, my eyes.png is what I named this picture because we were testing it out and I had it super zoomed in and I'm like, my eyes. It was painful. Of course, the B strip club and the Rickroll, that if you go to settings, or if you go to credits on here and you hit James's name, you get a Rickroll. Also, if you click on the B, if you go into the settings and enable the emotional support B, you click on it, you get sent to a fun shitpost that we had in the game. We were so inspired by a game we were playing for a couple days until 2 a.m. that we decided to deconstruct that entire game and then remake the level using their assets in our game as an Easter egg. So that was quite fun. And the main thing I want to talk about was my fan art game. We have a big update. So it is now called Secrets of Obsidian. Here's the new artwork for it. This is just like a mock-up. I'm going to switch out more of it and make it more refined, but this is what I'm working with. Had some fans I've talked to like give me some ideas, but kind of limited on what I can do because I'm trying not to use copyrighted material, so can't use logos or anything like that. But there's new gameplay added. We added a new gameplay mechanic where you have to find hidden messages that unlock more lore and some art made by fans. So the idea is that there's like hidden area, like there's like just some small like hidden objects around the map, and when you get close to them with the lantern, they appear, and then they'll also appear on a mural. And right now they're just boxes, but imagine that this is a beautiful like iron gate with a mural, kind of like a not Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil kind of like thing where you have to put like pieces into it. That's what's going to be like. We also have like a mock text box here, but we will be able to playtest it tomorrow, a little bit. And I had a very big update, or big to me, is that I got some attention around the game, slightly. One of the band members found my post after I tagged them in a game update, and they liked it, so they're aware of it. So that's what I'm happy about, is that I think they're aware of the game, which is what I was mainly kind of wanting, was that I know when I beat this game, and then they didn't know about it, and then I get in trouble. You know, like their studio comes after me, who knows. But that was a big update, and I think I have a video. Let me see if I can. I just threw this together a couple hours ago. But you go up to a box that appears, and that's just like an example of some of the features we have. But yeah. I'll put more areas where it'll maybe help you guide you to clues where you can find the hidden items, but as of right now, I just memorized where I placed them. And that is the mural, and where you find a hidden item, it'll appear on the mural. And they will actually fade back out if you don't stay next to them long enough to unlock it, so that is kind of a cool feature we added as well. And yes. Any questions? Yes.
So is it possible to unlock one of those without, if you're kind of looking away from it and just sidestepping it? Have you accounted for that someone might not be looking at the...
Yes, as of right now, that is a possibility. It's kind of using kind of like a collision detector. It's kind of like, okay, if you're within like kind of the collision box area physically, it will do that. But that might be a thing I might change in the future. Chris?
Yeah, so aside from all the fan art and stuff that you're including, are you making everything from scratch, like these buildings?
Yes, everything is from scratch. Almost, I think the entirety of it is from scratch, except for the text from text boxes, where I basically was taking the graphic novel text and just retyping it in text boxes. That's the only thing that I might be kind of a little bit worried about adding, because it's taking text from the novel, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, most of it is like 100% made from scratch with my own assets, so been very careful with that. Fun.
When are you going and what are your plans?
I am leaving on Monday at 7 a.m. But my hope is to have this playtest, like demo worthy by February, and then have this game released sometime this year, like early this year. Ideally, I would really like to have the band work with me on this game, because this is something that I could see them really wanting to be involved with, but they've been incredibly busy, had a lot of stuff going on, and I don't think that it's tricky. Yes, I would like to have this game out soon. It's going to be very small, but I like to make updates to it regularly when more things are added. So yeah. Brian.
With Project Mog, how much time did you spend working on the Easter egg versus the main game, and do you feel like it was worth it? It probably was, but
it was. So the B strip club part, Perman spent 2 hours making it. He had it done within like half an afternoon on a Friday of the game jam. He was like, we just started playing Eggular, like I decompiled the entire game, I have the assets, I'm just gonna recreate it. And the game is a 2.5D game, so the fact that we have an entire 3D thing in the game along with it in Godot, it's fun. The game is like its own, like, yeah, it's been fun. We didn't spend that much time. I mean, the fact that like Perman and Layla were able to put a lot of this stuff in the game within just an hour or two, surprises me that I'm just like, it only took that long. So I think for next time we're thinking about making an entire, like, yeah, just an Easter egg game just full of random stuff, because, yeah, we were playing until 2 a.m. a lot of random itch games, so that was our inspiration. Any more questions? Okay. Sweet.
Why not Western egg? Next up, Mareike.
Yes, and I already walked earlier, so it don't take so fucking long. Hello! As I promised last week, I'm doing my pitch deck or pitch presentation roughly. Sadly, I spent most of this week, instead of polishing my pitch deck, working on apparently trying to become half of an accountant so I can figure out if there will be more happy money for me. But nonetheless, this is, I made a shorter version because obviously it's 15 pages, so nobody has time for that. But my title is Stille und Sehnsucht, so if you're German, congrats. If you're not, I'm sorry, I will try to make an English title as soon as possible. But as you can see, it's a narrative-driven dress-up roguelike set in a fantastic Regency era. I don't know if anyone knows Jane Austen and all these kind of dresses where they dance and hop in ballrooms and have hopefully a lot of fun and and a lot of romance apparently. But that's not per se what I'm going to focus on. You play Elaine, a young woman. She has to, face the high society because she grew up on the countryside and has to decide the fate of her family because they are quite poor. And she has to marry rich, which is very difficult if you don't know how high society works. So, And she tries to meet the queen and figure out a lot of stuff. That's just a short intro. For the hard facts, already said dress up roguelike, which is an interesting combo, but I promise this will work out. Ultimately, I'm reaching for Steam, but because that's what I know, but I would love to go on Nintendo Switch, as well as maybe mobile, depending on where my target audience hangs out the most. What did you expect? The reality is I have money for myself for 1.5 years. No way I'm going to finish all of that in that short of time. So it's going to be probably 2 to 4 years if I'm lucky, completely in production. But yeah, I expect far more. Like, my concept is far too complex to do that in this short of time. So you get like an overview of the game loop. My favorite sentence is really like, as if Monster Prom dressed up like Jane Austen and had a bit of Hades sprinkled on top. If you know Monster Prom, I hope you do. That tells you probably the most of it. So you will basically dress up, go to events, try to figure out, and you have like a quiet phase where you set up yourself, you dress up, you skill, you get quests, you communicate with the coven, set up all your, next things for the next soiree or event that you're going to, and these things loop around. The time loop basically comes in there because in the beginning you're poor, you're broke, you know nobody, so you will fail majorly. But this time, every time you will get reset, because I'm bringing in some magic in, because otherwise this will sadly not work, because if you fucked up in this time, you really did fuck up and nobody cared and you probably will disappear forever. So, but I didn't want it to do that, so she has a bit of magic sprinkled in. I don't know yet, maybe it's a magic tree, whatever, for growth, I don't know. But for now, she is connected to a coven, which she finds out her mom was connected to, and they help her. They are basically a group of women that tries to stay hidden though, and they support women that have a difficult time in high society or got off the path, I don't know, accidentally got catched making out with the butler or all these kind of things, or wore the same dress twice because that's the worst, or said something rude to the queen and she hates them now, and you try to save them. Obviously, I'm a bit joking right now because obviously I want to talk about also some real social things like being called a witch and then losing all your status because someone somewhere didn't like you. All these kind of things that still played into society and that some women still struggle with today. Oh yeah, I'll use peace. I'm very tired today. I'm sorry, I dealt with so much taxes. I'm very excited about my project. I fucking love it. So, my key idea was to mix up dress up and roguelike because I fucking love dress ups and I freaking love roguelikes. And to me, dressing yourself up and going out is kind of the same as dressing up in a dress up game. So I'm gonna combine these, but instead of like having an armor that gives you dexterity, strength, or whatever, you get skills that are connected to persuasion and all these kind of things, and fit also the social context you're going to go into. And of course, I don't want to just make a narrative game. It should have replayability, so you always get new story branches depending on how well you are prepared, which characters you met, and how well you did previously. Oh, I'm very slow. Okay, I have the mechanics like laid out here a little bit more, which I will apparently skip now because I'm already out of time. The art style, it's gonna be 2.5D. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with the same perspective as Hades. It might be that I switch to a side scroll perspective and you have 3D environment but 2D characters and some elements pulled in. But this illustration from Juliette Brocal, I think it's French, so I'm probably butchering her name. Her art is beautiful and was a huge inspiration for my own art style. I still have my own twist on it, but I'm still working on that, and you will see more in the future. Team, that's the most important part that I wanted to get to. I've been talking to different people that I want to work together with. Arden, they're a friend of mine, and I know them since university, so over 12 years, oh my god. They're an amazing narrative designer and game designer, and also Nate, I will work with them together, but I'm still checking for programmers and game designers. If I figured out my tech situation, I can actually tell if I can pay people more or less, or if I go with similar contracts that Lena talked about, with revenue share and all these kind of things, but I will talk about details later. If this thing sounded really cool to you and you like to do cool complex systems and programming, all this kind of stuff, and want to help me out, and also bows and frivol and all this kind of stuff, talk to me, please. I want to talk about it and probably will need help. Otherwise, as Lynn already said, I will do this over my dead body. I will make this game whatever comes, but having some help might be useful. Questions? Wow, I was very over. I'm sorry. I really tried to keep it short. Yeah, Flan.
Will it be possible to show up to the ball in your underwear, and will this be a special achievement?
Honestly, I would like to have time for these kind of shenanigans because that would be scandalous. Oh my god. Think about that in this time, if you were caught just being alone with a male bachelor, it would mean that you would have to get married. You would not even be, close, just being alone with someone. So being in underwear, coming to an event, that probably would ban you.
I mean, I guess my question is also would you say, no, you can't go to the event because there's certain conditions you haven't met, or is it just you can go with anything?
I would love to. It's just how much budget and time do I have for these kind of things? Because it would really quickly lead to your end, but I would love to be playing around with as much settings as possible because that's what the roguelike part is. I want to be able to let people play around with it and find out themselves. But, instead of fighting, they have social interactions or, quests. Yes.
As a follow-up to that question, if the protagonist or whoever you're controlling did not cover their ankles, do you think they would be removed from society?
Instantly. They don't even get through the door. They're gonna get found later in a corner dead because that is such a disgrace. Honestly, we laugh about it now, but in that time, that was insane. You could go for a stroll alone in the park in the dark, and that would be, if someone would see you, it would be scandalous. You always would have to have a chaperone around. Literally someone who's just your shadow and hovers around that you don't do indecent stuff. So, except after you're married, then nobody gives a fuck. So, but before that, you're precious. Anyway, any more questions? That looks like a no. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Broken Alliance releases in early access in 6 days. And I thought to make I'll play it a bit and you'll get a full experience of the vibes of the game without me talking over it. So I will just open it and play it for 5 minutes, as much as I can now do it.
Smells of the brine of the vast and unfathomable ocean. It has not been an easy journey. The fact, on Yorick, your compatriot on many expeditions.
Took you long enough, emissary? Was beginning to think you got yourself lost without me. And we...
Prior gestures at Yorick in a way which can only be interpreted as vulgar, then grins.
Worry not.
Behold the gates of Skithheim. The interior of the town hall is designed to display the splendor of Anchorage. The central gallery, the figure...
Emissary, ravens have foretold of your arrival.
His severe voice is undercut by a tinge. He shrugs in reply.
How? No. Besides...
You see a shield maiden.
Welcome, emissary. Talk of your quest seems to be spreading fast. That's what we're here to find. Defeat...
The shield maiden raises her blade in resignation.
Well fought, emissary. You have proven your mettle. Be careful, we all...
Wood from the forests that cover Aeol, used for construction, fuel, tools, and weapons. Yet be wary of excessive logging, warms paradise. It may draw the wrath of the Earth Mother. The ruined half of a wooden bridge lies ahead. Rebuilding a bridge is not... The piece of gold glints in a mere still. The portal of teleportation.
Never been fond of these. Teleportation's not a natural way to travel.
Yorick shudders, his spines bristling.
Makes me queasy in the stomach is what it does.
The ominous town hall, yet in the middle.
A guest in our citadel.
Their voice echoes through the hall. The direction it's coming from, difficult to discern.
Okay, yeah, that's 5 minutes of gameplay for the game. So, if anybody has any questions. Yes, I joined now. Yeah. Yes. So in the beginning, we were playing currently. We are playing the prologue, and if you have played the prologue, which is very like linear, to be honest, when you have done that, then you would get to choose one of 4 factions and their story, basically. Like shit goes down, and then what you're gonna do there. In the prologue, you are the emissary who's trying to talk to all 4 of the factions, getting into one page, basically. Then you get a little glimpse into that, and then the story will continue as you are choosing one of the factions. But currently, in the early access, we will only have Anchorage as chosen. But we are in the next month, basically, already like updating things as we go, and as we see that they work out, basically, in the early access. Yeah. Yes. So after you have finished the prologue, as you have the character that you're playing, then you start the main game basically, and you get to make an Anchorage character, either a human or a merfolk, riding on a unicorn or a bison or whatever you want. Clothes, different clothes, and customization for that. Remy? At first we're gonna see like what needs to be changed right away, so we will dedicate like a month probably for that, and then we will continue doing like updates. But we talked to some other people who has done early access before, because this is the first time doing early access for us, and they said like under promise and over deliver. So we're not promising a lot, but we will want to, in the next few months, to already get Phobos, the second faction, and their story in, because we have all the bases there, and we have art done for it as well, so we can just carry on with that and implement it in the story-wise. Yeah. Yeah, because it has like a character that you play as before, and then when the story starts, then you know the world, and it's a bit time later, basically. You're not playing as that character anymore. So you make up your own character, and you can choose one of like 3 backstories for your character as well. Yep. Yeah, I'm getting enough sleep, because I am not the one that can do too much. I can do marketing, I can like take care of everybody, but mostly my art things, and because I'm the art director for this one, I feel like for being like the overall director, it's a bit more scary, but because mostly it's programming things, bug fixing things, tinkering with that, then I'm kind of fine. It has been tough for some time, because people have gotten sick, and now there's more people sick as well, and it's the like flu season, but their family was sick first, like everybody, but 2 of the families was sick, and then they got sick as well afterwards. So yeah, but we are happy. I'm happy where this is in, and some of it is still not completely polished, but people will see the parts that are and be like, okay, but these parts are what we need to get to as well. So I'm so proud, I'm so happy it comes out. It's exciting and it's terrifying a bit at the same time because we haven't had it barely enough time for do the marketing or other things in time and have the demo before out that we could, or like a preview that we could give to content creators and stuff. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I'm for this game basically. So I do some of the art as well because I wanted to do. Yeah, the logo is done by me. I do the trailers and stuff. I also do the UI elements, all of that kind of stuff, like these pretty stuff. The UI, like the layout, was made by somebody else. But yeah, these things, and also all the character customization models are also done by me. And we have the artifacts and the small icons that you see in the bottom, basically. So a bunch of elements and UI, fun UI stuff, basically, which was one of my goals with this because I wanted to make a cool pixel art game, but I haven't seen very many like games that really do the pixel art kind of UI well in a fun way, modern but still very fun. So I was feeling like if I do this, I can kind of make one of the best ones in the world, which is kind of exciting for doing a modern pixel art UI because that is only few games have it really. So that felt exciting for me to be able to do that part. Yep.
This was a setup for what is the helpful thing to do over the next 6 days.
So wish list, of course, you could wish list it on Steam, but the most actually helpful thing, of course, is if you buy it, play it, and leave a review in the very like first hours or first day of it or first 2 days of it being out, because we'll see how much visibility we get right now. We're releasing on a time that's not perfect for it, but we could still get some visibility for it. But it's still good to have, at least 50 reviews to have some review there, review score basically. So yeah, if you like, don't leave it if you don't. But yeah, that's all. Don't know. A year. I don't know. We have to now it all depends what people say about it and what they feel about it.
We have to maybe alter things.
Yeah, how much do we have to pivot? How much it's worth putting a lot more, or it's basically depending on also how well it does. We could drag it on quite long and support it for a long time. And if it doesn't do as well, we're gonna just pull it together in a way that we envisioned in shorter time and be happy with that. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Last one for online presentations. Pierce, the Veil.
So many beautiful presentations, I'm going to ruin it all. So I've got a problem. I came to spell, well, not entirely for this problem, obviously, but I wanted to solve the problem that I can't describe my game without if someone asks me at a party, you're a game dev, what game do you make? I can't just pull it up on my phone because it's an adult game and it'd be a bit unsightly to show that. I'm sure I could show some things, but I want to describe it easily, and that's what a genre is, among other things. So, after all this time, I finally decided, but first, why do we care aside from just describing it to people? Algorithms help match it to other people who have the same genre and all of that, and people just want to categorize things, and that stuff doesn't matter to me. I'll explain now, actually. Adult games, the genre doesn't really define how well an adult game does. People want the content, the stuff inside the game. As much as I love making gameplay, when they search for your game, they'll be searching for the kind of things like, are there men, are there girls, that sort of thing. Other games, obviously, if you like roguelikes, here's another roguelike. But I still want to be able to describe it, so I want to categorise things, I want to explain it at barbecue parties. It doesn't matter, but I want to. So, I'm going to describe it by, what do the fans talk about? They like the dress-up. It wasn't supposed to be a dress-up game at first, but I guess it was always going to be a dress-up game. And because what was going to make it different from the other games is it was that it had art, and these other games were just like text-based games where the character can be all sorts of things and you can dress them up in different ways. So I guess I was just making a dress-up game the whole time. Oh yeah, and if I describe it by mechanics, it's a traditional roguelike, and I realised just describing the game based on the mechanics is a really bad idea, because traditional roguelike, that thing in the middle there, is nothing like that. Even the more modern roguelikes, it's nothing like a modern roguelike. I can't describe it like that. So there's all sorts of things. Status Effect RPG doesn't sound good. You can't just call it art. Like, all games are like a gallery of art. So I can't... Spelunky-like, if you try and tell everyone, oh, my game's like Spelunky, or it's like Mario, people won't understand. I actually described my game once as... I described platformers. It's like Mario. And the person doesn't know what Mario is. It's Mario from the Mario movie? These other things, RPG, way too general. Monster Girls, that's the content. It's not a genre. Tactical platform, just way too vague. So... actually, go back. Visual novel is always a good thing. There is visual novel content, but if you do a lot of other things besides the visual novel aspect, you probably want to highlight the other things. It's like, you don't want to call yourself an indie on Steam when everyone else is doing it. You only have so many tags to use. So, I'll actually try and describe it. So, dress-up games. Somehow it's a dress-up game now. You don't really use it as a tag. I wouldn't use it as a tag. But if I wanted to describe it to someone and not touch on the adult aspects, it's a very safe way to describe it. But I wanted to call it like Wario again. I always bring up Wario. It's like a reverse game, because you're not the one dressing up the character. The enemies are dressing up the character, and that's what Wario is for some reason. Like this gate here, it won't let you through because it can see you. But that character makes you invisible. He's giving you a buff for some reason, and then you can get through the gate. So I guess Wario is a reverse dress-up game in a weird way. I'm not going to describe platform, forget that panel. Turn-based platformer. I don't care as much about the general genre. Reverse dress-up was more interesting, but it is mechanically like this, and I don't see anyone really making turn-based platformers. I saw Dig Dig Boom was mentioned, so if anyone wants to try something weird, they can. Turn-based is just really good because it lets players play at their own speed. It's good for my own thing. I can make an Android port, because if I'm doing a physics-based, if it's physics-based, I can't control it as well. It's my first project. I want something I can contain, and it worked out well because I can have simple controls that goes to Android, and that's worked really well. Android for adult games apparently is good. So that's what I've defined it as. I didn't put the tactical platform in there. Okay, it's just a reverse dress-up game then. I might mention the turn-based platformer as well, but yeah, unfortunately I can't show too many images because I wanted to be on the camera for once. And, final note, because I am making something that isn't really commonly done, I found you find a lot of challenges. You think it's really unique, so it's going to sell well, but the problem is you're just spending all your time solving problems that other people can't answer. You have to find all the answers yourself, and that wastes a lot of time. So it's not always bad to make something similar to a game you already like. I just want to say that. Right. That's it. If anyone's got any questions, you could ask. Oh, yeah, Fiona.
Someone in the chat says dress off game.
Dress off. Oh, yes, I did put a little note. It's technically not a stripping game. A reverse dress-up game does sound like a stripping game, and that's a problem, so I'm going to have to think about that. Yes, James.
Have you considered that it's maybe a sort of a Souls-like?
Oh, did you see? I don't like the term Souls-like. I don't know, I can't describe why, but it's just, there's so many Souls-likes, and it's, what is it really? It's just, you kind of dodging, and I'm sure some people really love them. I just can't get the term. Other James.
Why not dress up like?
Dress up like. I'm going to have to process that. Is it like a roguelike dress up? We got one. I guess. It doesn't sound as fun as reverse dress up. I like the reverse aspects. Then people are just asking what. And I think people asking what is this I want to see is a good idea. Like the turn-based platform, how do you make a platform a turn-based? People might get interested and they might have a go.
Someone said it's a clothe-em-up game.
Clothe-em-up. Yeah. I like that. Well, I'll be eternally trying to decide, but I think I'm getting closer to the answer I want for describing my game. Right, is that all? Right, good.
Yes, hello. So that was the last for the online presentation. If you also want to visit the Epstein Island of Sweden, come here to Spelkollektivet. It's great. Bye.